Hello YouTube, this is Dexter Nolan here with a brand new deck profile. Today I'll be bringing you a Qli deck. I really love this deck. I picked it up recently, and even after being hit so hard on the ban list, it still pushes tops, it still does OTKs pretty well, and it's a very good at maining floodgates. Very difficult to side against. Other than MST and spell and trap removal, there's not much else you can do. It makes an awful lot of decks irrelevant as well, like stuff that main the trap trick engine. Searching trap tracks, trap hole nightmare does really nothing against this deck, as well as effect negation, main decked veilers, even stuff like main decked maxis won't get their full worth, especially stuff like vanities as well in the Ginlock. It's so awkward to side against, which is one of the main reasons I see this deck topping, especially with people taking MSTs out of the side and out of the main too. It kind of just makes this deck so much better and so much more viable even after the hits. 2 Scout. These are your vanilla pendulums, and these are your summoner's art targets. This searches, this draws. Not much more to be said. For your double tribute monsters, I run 2 disc, 2 stealth, and then the 1 shell. Shell I think is not as good as either of the other 2. You don't really ever need a second copy, and also it's, even though it pushes the OTK, is the scale 9, which is another main reason. Otherwise I would have just went 2 and 2 and ran another trap, I think. So yeah, this is you can't respond to this card, and it bounces, which is pretty damn awesome, especially against stuff like Shadowls, and this pushes OTKs. There's not really much more to be said about any of these cards. Triple Carrier. Carrier bounces monsters when tributed, and it's just your default monster you go into when you're going for your first turn sacrifice play. Just normal summon it, quick sacrifice. It's kind of standard because well, it's the one you want to get into your extra deck fast, so I run 3 of this. People sometimes run 2 of either of these, but I play 3 and 3. You just want more names and more targets and shit, so you can open up as good as possible, so you can use your scout search to get something that's more important to the combo than either of these. 2 Veiler, of course, 1 is a killer, but I'm getting the 2 Veilers on the mail, so yeah, that's one of 2 proxies I have in this deck, but it's actually a very viable choice until I get the second Veiler, simply because it's a great card that can win games by itself. It's a bit dead in hand, but it has a lot of plus sides too. Double Maxi, that's the last monster. It's another hand trap. The reason I run the 4 hand traps is because Monolith's end phase drawing means that traps are kind of useless if drawn by it, whereas these can still serve as hand traps, literally. So yeah. Onto the spells of one Regeki. I don't need a Dark Hole because there's plenty of monster removal, and I don't need to out to the Ginlock or Dark Claw. Obviously Dark Hole is a problem for this deck. Banished Qlis obviously don't go to the extra deck, and that's a problem. However, you do have access to Carrier so often that I feel that sacrificing the double Dark Hole, which is dead against so many other decks, is perfectly viable. Sacrifice, it's at 1, otherwise you'd run 3. It's an amazing card. It forces your opponent into sticky situations, whether they choose to let you plus or whether they try and remove it other ways, forcing resources out. Triple Pot of Duality. Some people run 2, but I think 3 is the best number, simply because you want to max your consistency in this deck. That's why I run triple Upstarts 2 and triple Summoner's Art, just as maximum consistency as possible. So that's it for the spells. For the traps, I run 2 Soul Transition. The other one is a Recreate, which I'll put into the side as soon as I get the second Soul Transition, but Recreate is also a good card. Not as good as I'd like it to be because of some ruling things it gets wrong. It's when you read the card the first time, you think it's a really broken skill drain, but after that, you realise it's not very good at all in most situations. But it's often good against certain matchups like Farfist or once per turn effects, just not on summon effects. Triple Mind Crush, MVP of the format, really skillful card to use. Knocks stuff right out your opponent's hand, amazing in the Necros matchup. If you don't get Trished in this Qli, you often win that matchup anyways. You have a really good Necros matchup. 1 Warning and 1 Vandy's, Summon Stoppers, I guess. Warning was just there because I had space. 1 Skill Drain, MVP, I guess. It's at 1, rest in peace, rest in pepperoni, dude. And 3 Fiendish Chain, and the last Soul Transition, or Recreate for now. Fiendish Chain, just effect negation against stuff like Satellar Knights, which you have weaker matchups against. So yeah, that's the main deck, the 40 card main deck. It's hard to say what I change about it, I think it's a perfect deck. Once I get the Soul Transition, the Veiler, I don't think there's anything I can really change. You could probably, if you wanted something really bad, take out something like Solemn Warning or Fiendish Chain, but in my opinion, I think that's as close to optimal as you can really get. There's a few tech choices you could change around, I guess, but not really my cup of tea. For the side and extra deck, just meta hate. I mean, the extra deck is literally just 15 cards that I wanted out of my trade binder that I wasn't trading while I wait to use them in other decks. So yeah, that will tell you how important this extra deck is. You can actually, oddly enough, make like 10 of the cards in this extra deck. Like you can make Big Eye and Dragosack rarely. You can make Gaio if you summon a Veiler and sync with a Scout. I don't know when that would happen, but it can actually happen. So yeah, the side deck is just for what I need for locals. I run a double Lancia. It's not really even to stop Necros, it's just to stop other pesky decks, I guess. Spell and trap removal and protection. I run 6 of those just because floodgates are a problem against me. 1 skill drain, you can't main macro or DP, so just one of those, and 2 of each imprisoning mirror, and then 3 chain this to stop Firefist, Raccoons, Burning Abyss, and I think that's about it. But it hits 3 decks, so I don't see why you wouldn't run it. Especially when it can actually win the game against Burning Abyss. Taking Graph out of the deck completely and just not being able to use it for the rest of the game is really good. As well as against Raccoons, if you hit an Obedience skill with Chain Disc, you win the game. It's auto win. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I know this video is lower quality than usual. I'm a bit sick and I just got this deck. I want to do profile before we have to wait too long. I'll get a Burning Abyss profile up by next week, and I hope you enjoyed that one too. As usual, if you liked the video, do like it. If you want to say something to me or ask me something, you can either PM me or comment below. And if you want to see more content, however good or bad it is, from me, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Dexter Nolan out.